Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. Last time out we were covering some of these. We were making new interstate connections. Over the last two videos we've been doing that all the way. So as you can see, we've got Chicago connected both towards Detroit and towards Fort Wayne, Detroit, and Grand Rapids on this side. On the other side, we've ensured that the connections are all working and active all the way up to Green Bay, which I think we did some time ago, so that's all fine. We then ensured that we had the connection over to Indianapolis running, and then from Indianapolis the connection continued in two directions, one to Fort Wayne and the other way to Cincinnati. Cincinnati had one going up to Columbus, and from Columbus we've got a bit of a wibble and a bit of a wobble over to Cleveland and Pittsburgh. The only ones that are left are, oh yeah, we've got Detroit to Toronto, Toronto to Ottawa. The only ones that are left are Buffalo, which I asked for in the comments a solution as to how to do that, and I did receive some solutions or some ideas for solutions, so thank you for that. And also we've got the Washington Philadelphia area to try and connect outward, so we're going to be doing that at some point. However, what I'm going to do in this video is we're going to start with trying to do the Buffalo-Toronto connection. And as soon as we've done that, we are going to move on back onto the rails. And from the rails, we're going to try and get the last route, the last passenger rail route built up, which is going to be connecting this area down here. So you can see these tracks all the way down here. We're going to connect them up to Ottawa, or this section of track here, the New York Central track, or which at this point in time I suppose is the Penn Central track. So that's where the 20th Century Limited runs, and the Canadian, is this the Canadian Circular or the Washington Toronto? This is the Washington Toronto. So we're going to be doing that. Before I continue, I do apologize about the lack of videos over the past week. Things should be returning to normality soon. I had to deal with a few things that were outside my control, so unforeseen circumstances. I hope you guys do understand. Hey look, we've got street lights popping up on all of these. How lovely. Really, really nice. So yeah, things should be returning back to normality as of this video today. Right, let's get underway. Let's get this sorted. So what would be interesting is having this road going up and alongside, not on top of the hill, but running alongside the hill. Now, do I want it running on this side where you can see track and Lake Erie and the tunnel and the highway or the interstate behind us, or do I want it to be running on this side where you've got the Lake Ontario, and we've got the city of Toronto right in front of us there. Let's have a look. Where would it look better? And we're only going to be using a medium country road too, due to how this is going to work. So it needs to be something like that is what needs to happen. So it's not too bad. Use that one, yeah. It's not too bad, but it is something along those lines is what needs to happen. So it's just getting rid of this top part there, and then it can immediately start winding down and joining up onto this. We could even do a little loop if we had to, or a loop there and join it on from there. And then from there it's just going to go along this. Now, as you can see, the hill is dropping over here, so what we could do is run it along there and then run it along there and then around there and along here. Now I would want it to be at the top of this hill because I'm going to bridge it over this and connect it up to here. That's where I'm thinking of connecting it up. What that is going to do, hopefully, is allow Buffalo to grow out to this side a little bit more. Even though I wouldn't have minded it growing out this way, because I know this entire area is populated in real life. But unfortunately, we have to make some exceptions for what's going on in game. But those exceptions are few and far between, I think. So, is that a decent... I feel like that is a decent place to put the hill. Unfortunately, or the road. Unfortunately, if we do this, it's going to be a one-shot deal. So perhaps it's better if we start on this side. And that's done exactly what I wanted it to do. You see, that's exactly how I wanted it, and I don't want it to be going too much in the way of going downhill. Rather, it stays like that, which is absolutely perfect. So look, if you look at that, there's the road going overhead. And as a matter of fact, we could just flatten it somewhat, and that's even better. In fact, that's a lot better. Now, which was the road that I liked? It's that one, isn't it? I think. No, it's not that. Is it that one? It's that one. I like that one. It's just, the blue looks great, but I can't use that. The blue does look great, but it's just something about that blue just doesn't work for me. I wouldn't mind houses growing out this way up the hill. That would be really nice. Oh well, we'll do this. Let's start with that. That's okay, that's a good start. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this. But I'm going to try and run this along the top over here. The reason I don't want to spend too much time on it is because obviously I want to get on with the more important part, which is the last railway, which is probably going to be the name of this episode as well. So we're going to increase the embankment just a little bit on this side, and then we're going to have a slight cut as we start moving our way across to this side. There we go. Okay, so that's a good start. So let me just clean this up a little. Brush strength high. Don't know why my brain went, nope, don't say those words. You're not going to be able to say them. Brush strength high. Then we are going to, it's a little bit, doesn't like it too much. It's okay, we'll sort it out eventually. It really doesn't like it, does it? Let's tell you what, terrain up in this area just a little bit. There we go. Now we can, yeah, it prefers that. It's just a little better when we do that. Even make that a little bit smaller might help. Yeah, that's sort of working. All the way down. Come on, clean it up all the way, and we'll take that bit of, yeah, we'll sort of flatten this up a little bit. Bit of a plateau just there. It's not really much of a plateau, but it's a little bit. It's still a hill. It's not a plateau at all. Ignore what I just said. Ignore everything I just said. And we'll see, can we... Yeah, we can't. It's not wanting to raise up much at all. That's okay. That's okay. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Right. Autosave. Come on. There we go. Right. Next this is the difficult part. So either... Now you see, we could just bring it down the hill and then just bridge it over. Or we could run it along the hill, which is sort of... That's an interesting one. That's a really interesting one. No, I want to sort of try and run it along the side of the hill. So let's see what's happened. So at this point, I do want to keep it at the level it's at. No, don't join onto that. Or not, hold on. That's interesting. A tunnel over a tunnel, why not? We could do a why not there. A tunnel over a tunnel. We are cutting significantly into the terrain. But to have a tunnel over a tunnel... So imagine trains are coming along here and cars are going up there through... We could do that. I didn't want to cut into the terrain that... How much is that cutting in? If I did that, it's a much smaller cut. Actually, it's not as big a cut as I thought it might be, because you can see, you can clearly see where the hill is. So it's not cutting a huge amount. I could do that. And then that's already nice and low. It's just above. It's just above the other tunnels. Ooh. Could do. I'm going to take that. There you go. Sure, why not? A little bit of smoothing needed there, a little bit of smoothing needed alongside there, and then just clean it up. Just clean that sort of the transition up. There you go, good transition. Smooth this one up as well. Get that nice smooth gradient, so it doesn't look like it's going directly into a cliff. And then over here, just a nice little bit of smoothing along that contour line. There we go. And along this contour line, and along the side of that. And then I'm happy with that. We'll just clean that bit up around there, and just a little bit around there and there. That's good. Then on the opposite side, a similar sort of setup. Just clean it up around there. Smooth that off just a little bit up to that point, and there we go. And now we should be able to just hook this directly up to there. Easy as pie. That was easy. There we go. We can just smooth this little bit here. Smooth it up along the side of this hill. Smooth it up along there. I'm not sure why this isn't smoothing as well as I wanted it to, but there we go. Clean that up. Done. That was easy. So that's Buffalo now connected to Toronto, which means it's connected to Ottawa. We could literally do another road that went all the way around the lake if we really wanted to, hooking it up over here. But we're going to do that later. We need to now focus on getting this last bit done right. So the junction is here. This is the junction right here. It's not flat, and that's a problem, because we know what happens when junctions are not flat. But if we were to flatten this section out just here, that section there could allow us to peel off in that direction. So let's bring that up. Right, so here we go. Contour lines. We would like to bring our way. I would use the planning tool, but I just do not have time to study exactly how it works. So I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way, the old-school way. Alright. So we need to somehow get through this entire section up to there. So if we were to peel off... Okay, so if we were to peel off just there, route it around here, along here. No, let's not go along there. We'll go along here. We could go along here. Go there, along there. Then it's into a tunnel. But then it leads out to this area, which we could do a bit of a climb. Another tunnel. How far are we? We're about halfway through the mountains at that point. Or if we went along here we'd go there, and along here we'd go there, around there. Alright, around there, and then we could get ourselves already climbing to follow along this mountain. Yes, okay. We can follow along this, around this, there, and then we're up to this point. At this point we could cross over, but then we're getting so close to the border, we're travelling in the wrong direction. We need to somehow get ourselves going in this direction. Right, okay. And then we go through this area. Look, this area is nice. And just bridge it right over this into this area. And then the last bit, it should be a doddle compared to the rest of this. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. We know, first of all, we need to sort out this little bump. So let's get that bump sorted. So we'll do... What should we do? What should we do? If we were to ensure that that's straight. Yeah. So if we ensure that that's straight up to there, then we are going to need to cut this back and allow that to connect. There we go. We'll stick a signal back in once we are ready. So that's now... Oh, that actually was straight, it seems. Okay, and then at this point... So we need to ensure that this is kept straight as we do a 50 mile an hour junction. There we go. So those points are 50 miles per hour. That's good. There we go. That's nice and smooth. Okay. So we have a signal here. This signal here is going to be controlling both of those, but we do require a signal right over here. We can use these position lights still. I think the modern ones actually then go red and green, don't they? I think. Right, okay. Now, before this crashes, I'm going to save it. And for those of you who have just seen that S3 test one, check me out on Patreon to learn more about what's going on there. We are getting close to that. The performance update is coming in soon. It's being developed. The map's being developed. The mods are in. I'm testing which mods work where, so on and so forth. So yeah, it's getting there. So that's sort of where we're going to end up. I believe. I believe we're going to end up somewhere around here. Oh no, I don't want to end up there. I want to end up somewhere around here. Ah, okay. Okay. Maybe if I get it up there. There we go. Up there. Whatever I do, I must not click OK on this. I must not click OK. So what is it trying to do on the sort of line of the speediest line and one curve? So it goes through a tunnel there, which I think is okay. Another tunnel there, which I think we can avoid. Another tunnel there, which I think we can avoid. This tunnel, more than likely, we cannot avoid. That we probably cannot avoid. Then there's a long tunnel. We could just tunnel under the entire thing. Then we've got a tunnel that extends for a gazillion miles. And then it's up to this point. So it does want to go through this area here, which is probably the best place to go through. So we are going to start routing it through there. So let's go ahead and do so. So we'll do that. And I think I'll do this just a single track first, and then we'll move from single track over. Now it's a shame we can't hide the trees, because the trees are making it a little bit difficult to see. Right, I want to go up in this way. Now the climb is going to be difficult, isn't it? Let's do that. And yeah, we've got downhill, but I think that's a little bit better. There we go. Then we've got this. Yeah, the climb is then starting there. And Miley Cyrus is singing. There we go. It's probably a joke some people are not going to get. Speaking of jokes, April Fool just went by. What's the worst you've been April Fool? Did you get April Fool this year? I didn't, because I don't do the whole April's Fool's thing. I've never been one to fool people on a single day, as it were. Something like that, perhaps. That's a bit alright. That I might change, just straighten that up. In fact, let's do that now. That's better. Unfortunately, it is a bit more of a cut, but it's better. We'll sort it out. But yeah, I mean, the worst April Fool's joke I think I ever had done to me was by one of my old teachers. And he said to me, this was when I was in primary school. I was about 9 years old. I was 10 years old. I was 10 years old, and it was, he said to me to go ask my actual teacher for a bit of maths equipment. Something that they were going to be teaching in maths class, or in his class, which we used to have English first. He used to do maths first, I believe, and then English second. And so he asked me to go in there and ask the teacher for a long stand. So I did. I went there. I thought maybe it's a bit of measuring equipment, or maybe it's a bit of, you know, they're going to be doing something with volumes or something, and it's I don't know. I just thought maybe it's something to do with measurement or some sort of measuring equipment. So I went into the classroom just before school started, and I said to my teacher, I said, oh, Mr. Kilmister wants a long stand. So she went, okay, just wait there. So I did, for about 15 minutes. And every time I said, oh, he's waiting for it, she said, yeah, just wait, don't worry, he'll be fine. And they literally gave me a long stand. I stood there for a long time. And I didn't understand it until the teaching assistant explained it to me, that what's just happened, because I really didn't understand the joke. I didn't even realize I'd been April's fooled. I didn't know the date until I wrote it, because I never used to know. I never used to watch the date at all. I used to only write it. I never knew what the day was, and I just knew the day of the week, and the date I'd only learn every morning in school. Right, where am I? So from here, what does it want? So yeah, that was the worst that was ever played on myself. What does it want from here? Again, the same set of tunnels, and then it wants this supersized tunnel down there, but I'm really trying to get ourselves elevated at this point. Because if I can get us up here, look, if I can get us up this place, that's where I want to head for. And then I can tunnel it through that, not a problem. So how do I get us up there? That's the issue. That's the current issue. How do I get this train? Here, look, there's a climb. That's a climb. That's a decent climb. Now let's try climbing there. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Kind of like 70 miles an hour. It's a bit steep. That bit is a little bit steep, but you know what? I think a train should be able to handle it through this. Can we potentially? Yes, we can. We're up to the level I need it to be. So now I can pretty much go 95-ish through there. 100 through there. Bridge it right across those two. Bridge it all the way across that. Maybe even make a slight raise so it just bridges properly. And then we're going around this, and then we're getting into where we need to be. So this area We're going to wind our way through this area. Fantastic. Like that. And then it's another bridge. Right, okay. So how's this going to go? No, here we go. Bridge to tunnel to bridge. Bridge, tunnel, bridge, and heading. It's difficult. This one is difficult, and it's going to take... Definitely going to go into the next episode. Let's see, where are we? I mean, it's roughly done where I was hoping it would go. Maybe what I should do is I should leave that there and try and get an exit out of here. That's probably a good idea. So we want to... Right, who goes where? Do we want it to go into Washington or do we want it to go into Philadelphia? We have one platform free in Washington and we have 2 platforms free in Philadelphia. Interesting. We could just take it to Philadelphia. We even have a whole track free into Philadelphia. Take that one, and that's bring that in, cross it all the way over. Yeah, we could take it into Philadelphia and just do a Philadelphia to Ottawa. Oh, that would be fancy. Imagine the map circular. Philadelphia, Ottawa, forget Sudbury. Philadelphia, Ottawa, forget Thunder Bay. Sault Ste. Marie, forget Sault Ste. Marie. Philadelphia, Thunder Bay. No, Philadelphia, Ottawa. Chicago. Columbus. That would be an interesting one. That would be really interesting. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So let's try and figure out a way out of Philadelphia. And at this point in time, I feel like the best place to wind this out is here. Right here is the best place to wind it out. Right there is the worst place to wind it out. Okay. Let's not do it there. Where could I wind this thing out? How about here? We're going downhill. Look, we're going downhill. Imagine a curve that... Well, let's try and keep it... Could do... Okay, no. What we could do... I don't know if this is clever. Perhaps not as clever as I hoped. But look, that works. Ah, but it goes back on the uphill. That's the... It's going down to up, but it's crossing quite nicely. It's a slow crossing, but it is almost in range. Autosave, which is telling me that I've only got a couple of... There. Look, if I did that, and then we went from... Let's do another one. I feel like I'm going to regret this, but I'm not too sure. Like that, and then like that. Okay. And then what we do is we demolish that, and that. Gets rid of that bit and that bit. Potentially that bit. And do that. Like so. This might have actually worked. I cannot believe this. We might have actually had this working. I wanted that to be higher than 68 miles per hour, but it's okay. The crossing isn't 100% perfect, but it's fairly close to perfect. That is fairly close to perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video here. Yeah, I'll end this video here. Let's have a look at something that I can use for a thumbnail. I suppose doing this whole mountain route, isn't it? I could use a lot of that as a thumbnail. Let's do... That looks good. Look at that. A little part of the mountain pass. So let's do that. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transports Fever. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. What I'll do is in the next video we should have this completed. Then we'll set up the route, and that is all passenger railways all completed for this map. So you can see we are getting very close to the end of Series 2, the Great Lakes. Thank you very much for watching once again, and don't forget to support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ECGadget, and follow me on Twitch, www.twitch.tv/ECGadget. I think I'll see you guys next time in Transport Fever Series 2, Season 2, Serial 2, The Great Lakes.